Is our showing your idea Simon Lamed Vav Sif Nun Zayin to Ches. This is supplemental day 226 of the AhS Yomi. So we talked about the check we make of a blockage of an autumn. So in Nunzan we're continuing and saying if it what to do if it's not doesn't inflate when you blow up the lung. So Nunzan continues oil doesn't work either. The after soaking it in the water. So then you also b'dika shkasa v'tur shavim in base. They do the following b'dika the week which you actually brought away in basically makom atum to check to trip the place where the blockage where the blockage is to be found. If you find moisture, it's kosher. You put a straw or a feather there and you inflate. If it bubbles up. Yeah, but it's kosher and loud trefa, not trefa. There is machlokas what you do with this ripping in the place of the blockage. The writes you bring a knife. The korin hakrum levad. You could rip the membrane only, very adjacent to the place of the blockage. And they ask about this. Can I feel your vatsmates? Even if it bubbles up, has that evidence that the air entered into the place which has the blockage. Mamish, Shem Rakim that same Baruch made it only because on the sides. It's a taz. So I have to say this fear the base says Koshesh Makom Autumn. Any place that there's a blockage, if Shaloshi of a stomach mamish, the wind can't evidently get so close to adjacent to it. So therefore, if the wind gets right next to it, it must be it's not truly a blockage. And it's necessary to rip next to the blockage. If you cut it in the into the blockage itself, perhaps the cut you just made is the reason why the wind is going through there. How do you know without this cut the wind would have entered that area? Some say you tell a little bit of the place where the blockage actually is. You put it in something. And when there is when the area where you didn't rip it bubbles up, that's kosher. We're not concerned that maybe in this little bit of the blockage where we ripped it, it was very very stopped up. And had we not cut it, it would not have bubbled up, like we just said before, as the chashash is going to be Yosef. We assume that any place where it's blocked up is of equal status. That's Bichodesh. This is the opinion of Tush who says to write the place where the blockage is. The Marsha Zeh, it sounds like the place where the blockage is itself. The bracket says here, Nun Ches. Some say Oven Acher. They have a different approach. You rip the membrane on top of the blockage, and not the flesh itself. So that the wind will not come out when you cut the flesh of the blockage itself. So I guess you cut lightly the membrane on top of the blockage. And that which is the Turin right that you cut the actual right adjacent to the place which is blocked. And it doesn't mean adjacent in the continuation of the lung, but adjacent on top of the place the blockage is. That's the shachan to a short. By the akrumla bilvad, ein chashash Moshe meraka chituch hazeh And by this shallow cut, we're not concerned to say that the cutting itself caused the bubbling up. Okay, this was a short day. I guess because noon test is quite long. Although, no, tomorrow's Arukh HaShulchan actually seems quite long, including from the test to Samar Gimel. So let's do the test now. It's a short day anyway. When you start in there, the incubator Arukh HaShulchan says it doesn't matter how you do it. Whatever way you cut, this way, that way, it's fine. It's a good test. Because we have to understand the essence of this check. It's share that by cutting there, it's going to bubble up and it's kosher. Why is it good? Final analysis when it was intact, when we inflated it, and when they get in, and the lifetime of the animal, it wasn't cut. So the wind didn't get in at all. So I have to say that from the inflating after shechita, there's no proof that was the same during its lifetime. Because then its life force assists it. If you can imagine, like I said previously, such a svara. You can could be even though now the wind does get in. Now, its lifetime, the air came in, the wind came in from its mouth. Inhaling through the inhaling when it has life force. Is strong, and its own inhaling is stronger than any exhaling that a human being is not going to exhale into the lung. So therefore, we open it up or reveal it by cutting. If then it bubbles up, sign was alive. The wind got in, even when it was intact. Therefore, all the Rishonim write explicitly, to cut literally into the blockage. And if the wind gets into the blockage, so we don't have to assume a flaw. That many places where we cut it was really blocked up. That the wind to get in. Whatever we look at it, if we're going to be concerned, then we should be concerned even when it was alive. The wind didn't get into this place. Came in the roba, it must be rather, since most animals are kosher, and once a shechted has cheseter. Since we see now by cutting hishtanus, that it changed from the situation before, that was that now the wind can get in. So then it reverts to the cheskas kashrus. Shuv lo chashin lo not concerned. Ve'elu shamu shekrem samach mamash l'makon. Do not say to you really truly adjacent to the place of the blockage. Only kro rak hakrum shal hatum, or to just rip the membrane on top of the blockage. Sel azdafa ba'ama. That's to like an icing on the cake. It's a more clear cut check in that matter. But the halacha might in ganke they can see also shim chadku batum so even cut into blockage itself ganke kosher. V'ray brul is there clear evidence of this. The Sharei b'Shema Rashba view they brought the name of the Rashba. The base says Bach. The name Rashba should say dafka samuch makam atum that required checking specifically adjacent to the place a blockage. Can't consider Thursday ba'isa kotzer because that's your own Thursday ba'isa kotzer. Very Thursday ba'isa Arukh. Well, on Thursday ba'isa Arukh, because we wrote likra batu matzmo to rip the blockage itself. Ayin sham. So it must be this is just icing on the cake, a little bit of a chumrah, not to rip the blockage itself. It's not an impediment. Also, when he says adjacent in place of the blockage, it could be that it doesn't mean literally to cut the membrane on top of the blockage, or some of mamish kibshuto, but really adjacent, which is I guess going into it. So if you got really adjacent to it, it's got makamatum b'shleimus. It's going to reveal the place which is blocked up in its complete entirety. It's going to take away the membrane. It's going to move on. Then if it starts bubbling up, the place you cut in the outer wall of the blockage. When it bubbles up there, in the place you cut, And it's bubbling up from the outer wall of the blockage. Which now became uncovered through the cutting. That means it's not a true blockage because it's permeable. From Ruach Gam Kshes we say that this place, the wind got in also when it was intact. So and this resolves all that the Goyim asked in this matter. And brackets it says, Nun Zayin. You don't need a dochak, which we said a few moments ago in Sif Nun Zayin. And we'll do it to stop here for today.